sure it's live, then I'll start the intro and shit.
Man, she only got 5 vids up, man. She don't even drop weekly, bro. Oh, she do drop weekly now for.
Whoa. We got comp, we got comp. Hopefully they viewers gonna see us on accident, you feel me?
God, no, God, no, God, no, God. Nah, they got a girl though. They gonna fuck with them more. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, we might have to legalize our shit, bro. Get that shit taken down.
God, bro.
I
Copyright
think,
that shit.
oh God,
We
copyright
need to
our
check
shit.
the intro and shit. Make sure they're not saying. Alright though. We are back off the Rim fam. This is the last episode of the regular season. I mean, regular season really just finished up yesterday. This
Mhm.
Monday. We got playing coming up. We're gonna give out our awards, man. It's been a great week of ball. I mean, I really haven't been too tuned because we did just drop a pod like Thursday, so it's been 3 days of just backups playing. Really, nothing really too crazy. A lot of guys being injured or resting for the playoffs, so not really too much to see. How y'all been liking it? Have y'all really been tapped into any game? Any game really came across your feed that you really want to talk about today?
Not from yesterday, bro. I mean, there was some crazy stats, Loki, yesterday from like bench players and end of the bench guys. But I mean, it wasn't. I mean, I feel like that's the best day of the whole season to get your shit off. Like if you one of them guys, because ain't nobody really playing for real, except for maybe like right before All Star Weekend. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was still cool though. I know, bro. Was that Friday no, bro? That was yesterday. That's that Celtics game. That was a close game. The Magic game. That game mattered. That game did matter.
That
I did
Magic
watch
stuff,
that game,
bro.
bro. That was when Garza hit a three. It was tied 105-105. He hit a three at the end of the game to put him up three, and then they won after that, bro. It was crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I did see that
Insane. The
because the
backups
Magic
was the
needed that.
starters, right?
Yeah, bro. It was kind
Bro,
of crazy.
Desmond Bain played like 6 minutes in the first three quarters,
Wow.
Damn.
so he wasn't really playing the whole game. And then like, yeah, Baylor Shireman was going crazy. Ron Harper going crazy. So
Ron
hey,
Harper, I'm a big advocate for that dude, man. He's got the finishing ability, not as his, I think, younger brother, not as good as his younger brother, but he could still get in that paint, man. I remember the San Antonio game. He was given some viable minutes. San Antonio
Yeah.
versus Boston when Jalen Brown got teed out the game. He was putting up some real minutes. I think he dropped like 25 that game. And then the next fucking 2 weeks, he had 0 minutes played. So it's deep over there, but I trust Missoula, man. I trust Missoula. I believe Desmond Bain is one of the few people who have played 82 games this year, man. Can you guess any other players that have played all 82 games?
It had to be Mikhail, right? Mikhail?
did he do it
Yep.
again this
Yep. Mikhail has played all 82. Yep.
There's more?
There's a lot more, honestly. I was surprised how many people made it. A lot of guards. We had some power forwards and centers, but a lot of guards. Guy
Mm.
like a six-man of the year runner right now
Casey
made
Wallace?
82. Hmm?
I said Casey Wallace?
Casey
He played,
Wallace
didn't
didn't. Nah, Casey Wallace did not.
he? He played
year?
too? You said guard, 6 man of the
Reed
year.
Shepard.
Reed Shepard did. Yes. Another guy,
Mm,
Dante DiVincenzo. Air
mm,
Pods played all 82 minutes.
wow, Deepons played all 82. That's crazy.
Julian Champagny, Keldon Johnson.
Yeah,
One that surprised me was Tamani Kamara. Great year this year from him.
Mm.
for real.
Ooh, Champagne he played all 82. That's valuable as hell.
He
I didn't
played
know he played all
83
82.
minutes. I mean, 83 games, not 83 minutes.
83
83 because of
games?
that championship.
Right.
Jeremiah
NBA Cup.
Fears, Laravia, Bruce Brown, Jamal Sheed, Oso Ighodaro, I was pretty surprised on. Jay Huff, I was
Mm.
pretty surprised on.
Yeah, no, it's decent amount of name. Not
I'm
gonna lie.
saying, I thought it was gonna be a lot less. I did not know Desmond Bain played every single game this year, man. Like, I guess he's just
Yeah,
always
no,
out there.
Crazy.
he was always out there whenever I checked the Magic game. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, we can get straight into our MVP race because we do know that the 65 game limit is important here. I seen like a news clip or just a Twitter
Mhm.
clip about Wembenyama's math skills and how he was breaking down like the whole math about it on like if you played 50 games in a year but average 35 minutes, you're playing like 1700 minutes in the whole season. But if you play 65 games and only play 20 minutes a game, you're only playing 1500 minutes. So he was just arguing that it makes no sense that guys who, are are close to that limit, even around that 60-62 game limit, or 60 to 62 games played, aren't able to qualify for awards, which I respect that for him, because a lot of people were talking about like LeBron has played more minutes than Wembanyama this year, but he's not going to be able to get any type of award. Pretty wild. We'll see what they say about guys like Luka Doncic and if they actually allow his appeal to go through. But we should start with the big guns, man. Start it from MVP race. Start from 3, go to 1. Does that sound cool to y'all?
Yeah, that sounds straight to me, bro.
All right. At my number 3, pretty surprising, but I got Nikola Jokic here, man. Just dominant all around. He did have a little bit of a slump for the last couple months. Honestly, I feel like he's getting out of it recently. He really couldn't hit that 3 ball as consistent as he wanted. His turnovers were pretty high. To assist ratio was pretty high. But I feel like he's really getting it settled down, and I'm actually pretty worried about the Denver Nuggets coming into the playoffs as like a Lakers fan, because this got to be one of their better teams they've had in the past couple years, bro. The amount of shooters they've put around Nikola Jokic is insane. If Cam Johnson can hit that 3 ball at least at like a 35% mark, they're dangerous.
Sure. Yeah. At 3, that's where I had Wemby.
Wow.
You know, if you would have asked me like a couple weeks ago, like around when he made that what's it called? It was that post game, and they asked him or whatever about MVP or whatever, and he talked about how valuable he was on both sides of the ball. Like, I might have said Wemby second, but after like a couple weeks of thinking about it, I really realized that he really just advocated himself for DPOY way more than MVP, even though it kind of seemed like he propelled himself more for MVP because his odds shot up after that. But, I mean, his value is still super high, but, like, the same reason why we probably all have our guy at 1 is because of, like, it being a full season thing. And I feel like a lot of people forgot that Jokic at the beginning of the season for, like, the first 3 months was the front runner for MVP. You know, the whole time he was on a crazy stretch, and then he got hurt, and it kind of fell down. But I think about the way he started the season and then the way he came up after coming back from the injury, that's why I have him at 2 and then Wemby at 3. So yeah, that's why I got Wemby at my 3. But yeah,
Valid.
Yeah, man. I got the Joker at 3.
Damn. No Luka Doncic on any of our boards, man. Unless you guys have him at number 2, but I doubt it. Yeah, I feel like I gotta say something about Luka, man. My guy. I don't think I'd be as big of a Luka fan if he wasn't on the Lakers, but he's definitely has done something very significant this year, man. With the little amount of pieces he had around him, especially like I would say out of anybody in this MVP race, even the top 5 guys, he's got the least help around him. Sure, he's got like a LeBron, sure he's got an AR, but even those guys had their slow times throughout the year where like AR in the past couple months has not been getting his shot off as consistently, and LeBron at the start of the season was really struggling. He's obviously in full form now, but I think Luka definitely tried to put his best foot forward, try to average 40 for that whole month of April or March. Whole month of March, he was averaging like 40 points per game. I can respect it, but unfortunately, like these top 3 guys are just doing something that even Luka can't do, bro, which is even just play like some sort of defense. Nikola can at least play some sort of defense. Luka is just a cone out there.
Yeah, and he's been playing better defense recently, but I saw this video. I don't know if you guys know who the Low Post is. I watched some of his videos. He covers some league talk, but he was talking about how Luka, it's going to be so hard for Luka to ever get over that hump to win an MVP with Jokic in his prime, like at his peak, because the voters, like he had a good point. The voters who vote for like Jokic and and Luka, like the stat guys, like triple double, like guys who like that type of stuff, they're never gonna choose Jokic or Luka over Jokic, just because of the fact that Jokic plays a little more defense and his team is usually on the higher seed side. This year, it was different, but Jokic is always gonna get that favor in that vote from those guys. So it's gonna be so hard for him to just get over that hump while Jokic is at this level. And I mean, unless Luca can propel the team that he has around him up to like a first seed, or he has that narrative of having the best team in the league to go along with his MVP, then it's gonna be so hard for him to just get over these three guys in the near future. But hey, we'll see how the Lakers choose to build around him. So
Yeah. I mean, at his pinnacle, man, he was knocking that three ball down at like a 40% clip, bro. So if he can continue, if he can get back to that level, what was that, like 2, 3 years ago when they made that finals run? If he can get back to that level, I wouldn't be surprised if he can get a year over a guy like Shea or a guy like Wemby and Jokic. It's going to have to be a little bit more injury riddled for those guys, obviously, because even his peak is probably not near Wembanyama's peak season. But
yeah,
I mean, if you can get back to knocking that 40% clip down, knocking those fades, threes down, which is a tough thing to do, but we've seen him do it. I can see it happen, man. And if he gets a one seed, I mean, it just depends on, again, like you said, pieces the Lakers put around him. If he gets a one seed and he's knocking that shit down for 40%, even if he's not playing defense, you still got to put him in the conversation. I mean, he was in the conversation at a, what, 5 seed?
yeah. So if he can propel them up to 1 or 2 seed, he can definitely do it.
Yeah. At number 2, though, I had Wembanyama. Just he's a little bit more valuable, in my opinion, than Nikola Jokic this year. I did take a little bit to heart on what he was talking about defensive-wise. Obviously, not completely, because I do believe the MVP is a little bit more offensive-focused than defensive. It's not the 90s or the 80s. So you still got to compete and put up big numbers on the offensive side. And he does do that. He's very efficient in that area. So I would put him above Jokic just because he can do a little bit more. He can space the floor a little bit more. He might not be able to play make as well as him, but he's just an offensive engine, just as those other guys are. But yeah, who y'all got at 2?
Man, like I said earlier, I got Jokic at my 2, man. Like I said, I feel like I said, the first 3 months he was just on a crazy run, and you know, I just take a whole year into account. And as much as a fan I am of Wemby, him being injured he was a little injured for a little longer than Jokic was, and to start the year, he was on a run, but I mean, they weren't on that crazy run they were like the past few months. Like they had beat the Thunder, and people were talking about how they could be potential contenders around the NBA Cup. But yeah, bro. I mean, I don't know. I feel like Jokic, to me, just has a little bit more of an edge. But Wemby is definitely right there with that run that they had for the past few months. I mean, they literally were the best team in the league rating-wise when he's on the court. So it's kind of crazy, but.
Yeah, man. I got Wembanyama at my number 2. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's kind of self-explanatory. He does have a much bigger impact on the team itself that he's on than Jokic. Well, yeah, because without Wemby, the Spurs team really wouldn't be anything, in my opinion. Because, yeah, Luke Cornett doesn't. I'd rather take Valanciunas over Luke Cornett. So when you can see that when Jokic is out, Valanciunas, he coming in dropping 27 and 17. I don't know if y'all seen that the other night, but yeah, he came in and dropped like 27, like 15. It was crazy. So yeah, no, just the way that Spurs teams look without Wemby is what really made me put him over Jokic. So.
Also, I feel like Wembanyama has made this season, like alone, Wembanyama has made this season actually interesting. I feel like before the year, everybody had it already wrote in that the Thunder were going to win the championship or at least make it out the West for sure. But after the Spurs beat them like what 3 times in the span of like 2 weeks, everybody realized, oh shit, the Thunder are actually a touchable team. They actually have flaws, and that type of player that Wembanyama is just brings out those flaws. I think the only team that the Thunder is scared of, besides maybe like the Boston Celtics in the East, is the Spurs, because they can really give them a run for their money, and it's been shown in the regular season. But who's y'all MVP, man? I feel like it's already known. Everybody already knows it.
Man, the
Man,
whole league
Shea,
should know
man.
it already, bro.
Back to
Oh
back,
man, Shea, man.
back to
Had
back.
had to be Shea, man. Hey, I feel like, and that back to back. I want to talk about that, man. I feel like people were too eager to go to the next guy. Like they were just so eager, like push Wemby up or like Oh, it's been a couple years since Jokic. Let's give Jokic. Nah, man, Shea, he deserves this back to back, man. He literally came from last year. He did the same. He's been consistent for like 3 years now, just doing the same thing. I mean, man, it's crazy. He's, my opinion, he's clutch player of the year. I mean, he literally has made the most. We talked about it before, the most game-winning shots this decade of any active player right now. I mean, it's crazy, man. He just every time he shoots that midi, I feel like it's going in. He's a great finisher. He's was shooting way better from three this year than he was last year. It's just crazy, man. He's that whole team's offense.
He really is. I think he's actually probably taken even a step from last year, man. Because in my opinion, I think he's better than he was last year, playmaking wise, scoring wise, 3-pointer wise. I know it gets shaky here and there, but I feel like we've seen a little bit more consistency this year. We'll see in the playoffs if that consistency can continue. But yeah, great year by Shea, man. What would he have to do next year to repeat? Like, obviously, Wembanyama's going to get way better, hopefully. We're hopefully going to see a step for Wembanyama. Jokic is probably going to continue getting that triple-double, that 29, 10, and 10 triple-double. I mean, what does Shea have to do next year? Do you think he can get another MVP playing at this exact same level? Or do you think at this point it just matters on how his team is going to perform,
Hmm.
like
You think like
record-wise? Because like it's hard to get three in a row, man. Have we ever seen a three-time MVP in the modern era?
I don't think
I
so in
don't
the
think
modern
like
era.
not three straight. No.
No.
Nah, man. Yeah, it would have to be like he'd have to win. He'd probably have to win the scoring title. We couldn't let Luca beat him in that. He'd have to win the scoring title, and so it'd probably have to be like 33, 34 points per game, and they'd have to be the one seed. A lot would have to go right. I'm not gonna lie. They might have to hit that mark of like they were earlier in this year where people thought they were gonna break the record. They probably had to break the record,
Yeah.
the season record. And I would have to go. I'm not gonna lie, because yeah, like you said, Wemby's getting better, and Jokic is gonna be right there, and I mean Luka's gonna be right there. So you never know who could come on the scene. Ant could have a good year too. Tatum could come back 100%. So I don't know. It'd be hard, man, for three in a row.
Hopefully he works on that three-point shot and gets it much more consistent because his career could get really extended if he can get up to that 35 to 40% range.
For sure.
But let's go into DPOY, man. I had a lot of names on here. I have some honorable mentions. I don't know if you guys do, but these honorable mentions might be in your list. I don't think they will be, but I gotta mention Scotty Barnes, man. Scotty Barnes is probably the most all-around best defender in the league. He can guard the perimeter. He can guard the post. He can do it all, man. His length is so insane. He's really the engine on that Raptors defense. Because there's not that many great defenders on that Raptors defense I can name. Maybe Jakob Pertl, but that's about it. And I wouldn't necessarily say he's a top 10 defensive center in the league right now at all. So Scotty Barnes really carries that team. He's the reason why they're currently, I think, the 5 seed, maybe the 6 seed, whatever. So I got to put Scotty Barnes on there. And then another honorable mention, almost like a duo, like a tandem. I mean, you can make a case for each of these guys, but I got Azar Thompson and Jalen Duren. Both of those guys have been showing spectacular defense. They're the whole soul and heart of that Pistons defense. Azar obviously guarding in the perimeter and Duren guarding in that paint. Duren has taken such a step in his shot blocking ability that I love to see from that dude, not only offensively, but he's taking that step defensively. My four, I don't want to name because it's probably in your guys' list, so let's get into the number three. Who do you got at number three at DPOY?
Hey, man, three is where I had Scotty.
Oh, shit.
I had Scotty at my three, man, for the same reasons that you said. I mean, he's the leading defensive guy on that team. He's propelled them to the 5 or 6 seed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he can guard the center. He can guard perimeter. He can switch. He's a great switcher. He can fight over screens. I mean, he's super versatile. I just feel like it's gonna be hard to get over, the guys in the 1 and 2 spot for the years coming. But I mean, as far as a guy that's below, I mean, he's what 6'9". As far as a guy who's below 7 foot, he's the best defender as it gets. Shout out to Sardo, like you said, he almost put him at my three too, because I mean, Asar has been crazy this year, but that's what I got on my three, Scotty.
All right, valid.
Yeah, man. I got You're talking about those honorable mentions. I honorable mention Donovan Clingan just for holding down that Trailblazers paint, that Trailblazers defense. Tumani Kamara is another honorable mention that you could throw in there. Those guys over in Portland. The team itself don't look too hot, but the defense kind of it's there. But yeah, at that three, I think Scotty is a good spot. A steal and a half and a block and a half. That's great.
So that 1 and 2 spot I already think is pretty locked down. So I don't think you guys have this name. Um, at my last honorable mention before I get into my number three, I had Derek White. I feel like he's a name that you can't not mention when we're talking about DPOY. He was 2 blocks short of 100 blocks, which I believe has only been done by like 08 Dwayne Wade when he won the MVP, and I'm blanking on the other dude. I want to say it was like Michael Jordan. I'm pretty sure Michael Jordan and Dwayne Wade are the two only guys who've gone 100 blocks as a guard in a single season, and Derek White is right there, man. He's the pure, like, he's the reason why this Celtics team hasn't completely fallen off a cliff. Obviously, Jaylen Brown offensively, we knew what he was going to bring, but Derek White being able to just guard everywhere is such a key tool for Missoula. Missoula just knows how to use him perfectly, and I love it. But at my number three, my real number three spot, I had Chet Holmgren. Great defensive big man. He's on that same level as a Gobert or as a Wemby. Yeah, just at blocking shots and being a guy that you don't want to go down there because he's down there. You got to do something. You got to change your shot when you're driving in the paint because he's down there, man. And the way the Thunder use him, and they're able to use him by putting like Caruso or J-Dub on the big and letting Chet roam, or even Hartenstein on the big and letting Chet roam is so advantageous for his skill set. So I got Chet at 3. At number 2, I feel like it's pretty simple, man. I feel like hopefully we all have Rudy Gobert here. Hopefully there's no hate, no bad blood, because I mean I know he doesn't bring anything offensively, but he might be the most valuable player besides the number 1 guy to his team's defense. Because I mean it's literally statistically shown that when Gobert is off the court, that Timberwolves defense falls off a cliff, and maybe it's because they typically go more small ball when Gobert comes off the court with Naz Reid. He's only being like a 6'9" center. But still, Gobert hasn't taken a step back. He's still a dominant shot blocker. His perimeter defense, I feel like, is really underrated. Because, yeah, he can't move his feet amazingly, but his length is so crazy and, like, out of this world that even if he is turned around, he can still put a hand up and get a contest. So I got Gobert on my 2, man.
Hey, man.
Who are you even gonna name? No way, bro. Who the?
And I think me and
He's
Kate,
already named, man. I
but
got Chet on my 2, man. That's where I got Chet, man.
Wow.
Got Chet on my 2, man.
Is it like the win shares, man? Because I didn't really take account to win shares. Because if you look at that whole Thunder team, they all are like top 10 in win share. I mean, not win share, defensive win shares.
No, I mean, I just for me, I'm gonna list off eye tests from watching games. I mean, statistically, Rudy Gobert is probably, I mean, obviously, like you said, beside Wemby, he probably is the most valuable defensive player, especially in terms of on and off. But I don't know, man. I feel like Chet being able to, like you said, being able to roam and help off smaller guards who are like defending a bigger guy, and Rudy Gobert can do the same thing. But I don't know. I feel like maybe the way when I watch the Thunder games and how active their defense is compared to the Timberwolves is like when you have DiVincenzo and Ant's been there, but he's kind of been hurt sometimes this year, and he's obviously has a very high offensive load, so his defense isn't as good as it could be. And then Jaden McDaniels is obviously a great defender, but he's kind of had an off year this year in terms of defense and offense too. But he's been kind of injured too, so I feel like Rudy Gobert just gets to see a little bit more. I don't know, defensive action, I guess. And obviously, that's not his fault, but a lot is funneled down to him in their defense. But I definitely see your point. But me personally, this is where I had Chet. Rudy is definitely at that 4 spot though, right outside, like right behind Scotty than me. No, obviously I hate how he plays offensively, but in terms of defense, yes, he's on my 4. But this is where I had Chet, man.
yeah, man. Just in like the Rudy to Chet convo. I mean, I like the way Chet is just more mobile. more agile on defense, so he can get out of the paint when needs be, or like when the situation like that arises. He is actually capable on the perimeter. He might get blown by, but yeah, he's still got that long stride. He's still kind of quick, got that quick twitch, go get that chase down. So yeah, I can see Chad at my two. Just yeah, and he averaging like 2 blocks a game. So
That's fair. That's fair.
and yeah, they playing him in the corner. I was watching a game in like they had the 2-3 and he was in the corner. So being a 7 footer, 7'1" in the corner, and you still coming out with 2 blocks a game because you're that off help defender, that just shows he's more versatile on that defensive end as well.
Mm,
So,
I see that, and I don't want to like hate on Holmgren too much because I did have him in my three, but I feel like when we're talking like big on big, obviously he doesn't have to get put in that scenario too often. But when there's a big on Chet Holmgren, I feel like he doesn't necessarily he's not as good as he is off the ball. Like his weaknesses are definitely shown because he's a smaller body, skinnier guy. I mean, you see it a lot with when Wembanyama was playing him. Obviously, that's a one-on-one talent, but you see it a lot when Nikola Jokic can get a one-on-one with Chet. It's not necessarily coke buttered cheese, but it's a lot easier matchup than Isaiah Hartenstein or when J Dub's on Jokic. Because
mm,
he can maneuver and move his body over Chet. Rather, when you got Gobert on Jokic, it's a bigger body. It's tougher to get around him. But I can agree that, I mean, if you like that shot blocking and that versatility that Holmgren has, I'm not too mad at two. I believe the majority of NBA rankings, I think, have Chet Holmgren at two anyway for the DPOY. But number one, the first unanimous, probably DPOY, a lot of people are talking about Victor Wembanyama, man. Don't think there's that much to even talk about. I mean, he's fucking what? His reach is like 8'1" if he's standing up and he reaches straight to the sky, bro. That's probably higher, honestly. I think it's like 9'6" because he can damn near dunk without jumping. So
Yeah, man.
that's just a
I
joke.
mean, his versatility is crazy. I mean, you're talking about being be able to guard perimeter. I mean, that clip of Darius Garland going out the perimeter and then running into the paint and then running back out to the perimeter trying to score on him, and Wemby is just there chasing him and keeping up with him. I mean, you're talking about one of the fastest guards in the league, and he's keeping up with him. And I mean, bro, it's just there's so many times where you think this player can get this layup off, and he just reaches up, or he'll fake like that little thing where he fakes like he's not looking that way. He'll lose peripheral vision, and the shot will go up, and he'll just reach and lunge up and block it. I mean, this is literally his award. He's gonna win it for. I mean, he's really know how many. I mean, he could win it for the rest of his career potentially. I mean, it's insane. But yeah, man. I mean, it's on and off in terms of the Spurs as a team. I mean, they go from like middle of the pack, maybe like lower end in the league, to literally best in the league when he's on the court defensively. So, I mean, it's just hard not to give a guy like this the award. I mean, yeah,
100%. Yeah, and I feel like his only weakness was ever shown against Nikola Jokic, who's like a perennial offensive engine. So
mm-hmm.
I mean, it's gonna be hard to stop him, and I feel like that's more of like a nod to Jokic being able to just dominate Wemby when it comes to their matchups. Because it's insane. Like the only problem with Wembanyama is he's just not as fast on his feet to recover into the paint when guarding Jokic in that mid-range area. But like, what 0.001% of people probably could be able to do that. So I don't blame him. And that's something he can work on. That's something he can dominate. And that's what I heard on a podcast where those type of guys like Wembanyama facing Jokic is going to force Wembanyama to elevate his defensive game. If there was never a Nikola Jokic, there's going to be no reason for Wembanyama to work on things because it's already working. So I love that type of connection. I love that type of competitive nature that these guys show. And he's probably going to be a much better defender next year because of that.
Yeah. I was about to say that's a good point because it's probably the worst defensively we're gonna see him until like the back end of his career, maybe when he's way older. So I mean, it's just gonna get even crazier, man.
It is, man.
not
Well,
even
that's
off of a full season either. That's kind of crazy. We haven't seen a full season of Wemby yet, and he's already leading the league in blocks with half the games played, or not half, but you know what I mean. It's crazy. So yeah,
mm-hmm.
this is generational shit we gotta witness.
Did y'all see what's his name? Wilt Chamberlain's like 1965 blocks per per game stats came out, because I guess they gotta like, I don't know how they do it, but they probably just count them like NBA guys just count them. But anyway, his blocks per game came out. Guess how many blocks per game he was having in like 1965. So like it was the end, closer to the end of his career, but he was still pretty decent. Like on that Lakers team, I think they won a championship probably like a year or two before.
Was there a goaltending rule? Because I would see clips of him just taking
It's
his
probably
shit
some crazy
before it hit
guy.
the rim. So
It's nasty,
What was
bro.
it? Was he having like 3 or 4 or something crazy?
8.5.
Oh my goodness.
8.5 at the end of his career, gang.
yeah,
That's
that is
insane.
that's
Like that's insane. I did not believe it when I first heard it, but I heard it on the Nerd Sesh pod, so they don't be saying bullshit.
That's 8 blocks. It's crazy. Yeah, Lank is right. I might have to see them clips, man. He might be pulling shit off the rim, bro, before
that's
it
what I'm
go in. I'm
saying.
not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
because like they didn't have an offensive interference rule either. His teams would shoot, he'd dead just catch it and then go back up and like dunk that shit. So yeah,
Yeah.
I could definitely just see him taking that shit off the rim and then running down the court.
Oh, 100%. And he probably didn't really have to worry about guys going up for insane blocks like Wemby. I mean, not blocks, dunks like Wemby does, where like an ant can just
Yeah.
yam on his head. It's just going to be straight layups.
Yeah.
Layups are weak middies that are like obvious. Anyway, that was just a crazy stat I seen. Let's get into our next award, Clutch Player of the Year, man. I feel like we got some nominees definitely on this list. There's been some clutch moments. Who y'all got at 3, though?
You want to go first, Lank?
Shit, I can. Ooh, I only got two names on my list,
Got
but
it.
I think I was doing my research too, and I seen a few different lists with like Jamal Murray at 3. So I'll
Okay.
just adopt. I'll just adopt that Jamal Murray at 3.
Come on, man.
Valid.
Man, I'm gonna put Curry right here, Steph Curry. I mean, even though he's not gonna hit that, man, I feel like Steph Curry, bro, that game, his first game back, like, what was that, last week when he played the Rocket? Or no, what team was that?
It
What
was the
team did he play?
Rockets.
No, it was the Rockets. Yeah, when he played the Rockets. I mean, they were down like 12 some points, 15 points, and he literally stormed them back. First game back after being gone for like what? It was like 3 months or something crazy. Um, yeah, man, I had to ignore the. I don't know. I know for some awards they don't do the 65 game. I think it's like 6 man of the year, and some. I think some awards don't have the rule, but I put Curry on there anyway, just because. I mean, when you have like 2 minutes left, I mean, he's literally the guy you want to have the ball, and he always hits that clutch shot. I mean, he didn't have that shot last week. You know, it hit the rim and bounced off, but he was getting doubled from like 30 feet out. So it's like at some point, it's like, what can you do? But man, this is where I got Steph Curry, man. I mean, he's won it before. He's always a runner for this. That's where I got Curry.
Valid. I had Jamal Murray here too, man. I actually did a late, last second switch. I originally had Jalen Brunson here, but saying it out loud instead of like looking at the stats just makes me like, it just gives me an irk, bro. Like I can't put Brunson below Murray at all, because when I think of clutch shots, I'm more worried about Jalen Brunson. Yeah, I'm worried about Jamal Murray, but really I'm worried about that whole Nuggets team, because that whole Nuggets team is insane when it comes to the last 1 minute in the fourth quarter in clutch games. I mean, Aaron Gordon can hit that game winner. You can see Jokic hit a fade game winner. But even Jamal Murray, I feel like he is one of the craziest shot makers at the end of games, man. Hitting a fade three. We've seen it all, especially at the start of the year. I feel like he was really hitting those crazy clutch shots, and he's kind of cooled off since. And they've kind of been more focused on giving it to Jokic. But I got Jamal in my 3 for that reason. And you guys already heard what my 2 is, Jalen Brunson. I feel like it goes without saying that he's been clutch his
Yeah,
whole
man.
life, bro.
Yeah, I mean, this is where I got Brunson too. I'm at 2. I mean, to me, when it comes to Brunson versus Murray, I just feel like Murray might benefit more from having Jokic, that gravity that Jokic has. When it comes to, obviously you want to keep the ball out of Jokic's hands more than Jamal Murray's hands when it comes to the final shot. Even though Jamal Murray is very efficient at that clutch shot, I feel like Brunson being the guy on that offense throughout the whole game, and then comes the clutch shot and he's still able to pull it off, whether he's getting doubled and obviously he's a 6 foot, 6'1" guard. I mean, it's crazy, man. He just lights out, and yeah, man. If it wasn't for the number one guy, he'd probably win it again. But yeah, that's what I got. That's what I got, Brunson.
And my number two, man, I got Tyrese Maxey.
Look,
Yeah. And I just did the research to back it up. I don't know if this is true. Shout out Gemini. Leads the league in clutch points with 144. And he also leads the league in clutch minutes played as well. So,
Wow.
and I've watched very few Sixers games, but I'm a clutch time watcher as well. So if I see a game in the fourth quarter, 10 minutes left, like in between 7 points, I'll click on, and he's like the only person taking shots, like him or like a VJ slash. You got him. Well, when Embiid was in the lineup, he was taking him.
you disconnect.
Yo. Yo. What the fuck was he even talking about? I was low-key blanking. Hey, I'll talk about Jamal Murray though a little. Not Jamal Murray, Jalen Brunson a little bit more. Mine too, man. Hey, Jamal Murray. Every time he gets the ball, bro, it's just something possesses him, bro. When that clutch time hits, it doesn't matter if he's getting double teamed. It doesn't matter if the biggest guy on the court's on him, the best defenders on the court's on him. It doesn't matter if the little guard's on him. He's gonna get his bucket no matter what, bro. His ability to his ability to catch the ball off the, you're back, bro. But yeah, like I was talking about Jamal Murray, man. Not Jamal Murray. Fuck. Jamal, Jalen, they got the same start of the name. Jalen Brunson. Just, bro, it doesn't matter if it's a swish or a bank shot or if it's hitting front rim and rolling in. The amount of spin he puts on that ball, I mean, being a 6'1" guard like you guys were talking about, he had to learn that type of ability to dominate in any type of scenario, and he definitely does, bro. I think the only time he really can get frazzled if they throw two at him, but I feel like recently, and he has the understanding and capability to know that his other players aren't going to make those clutch shots, unfortunately, man. There's times, I believe, in that Rockets game where they just kept sending the double, and he would hit Towns, and Towns would do some bullshit and not get in the paint, and he was screaming at Towns to get in the paint. But eventually, you can only yell at a guy so much until you realize they're not listening to you. So you got to take matters into his own hands, and that's what I love about Jalen Brunson is he's never afraid to take matters into his own hands because he knows no one's going to talk shit to me if I miss the shot. No one's going to say nothing to me if I miss the shot because how many shots of those I make on a day-to-day basis. So he's at my number 2. Love to see his game, man. At number 1, though, CPOY, Clutch Player of the Year, man. Got to go to the MVP.
Yeah.
Hey, man. I mean, that step back 3 he's adopted this year in the clutch is actually nasty. I'm not gonna lie. I think he hit it. I've seen him hit it in 3 games for sure this year. And then there was that one game versus the what game did they go into overtime? Was that the Nuggets, bro? Or it was a high seed team and it got waved off for a push off, but it was still he still hit it and I was like, man. And then he's adopted that shot, but I mean in the midi, his midi is already automatic, so he's coming downhill in the clutch. And he hits that midi. I mean, he literally is. I think a go-to shot, bro. Like, that's what you want with your main player is to have a go-to shot in the clutch, and he literally has like 3 go-to shots in the clutch. It's kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, man. Like I said, most buzzer beaters this decade. I mean, can't give it to no one else, in my opinion.
No. I feel like Shea is like the embodiment of just clutch, bro. No glaze at all. But like when I look at the Denver Nuggets and they're in a clutch game, especially like a couple weeks ago when they were facing the San Antonio Spurs, I was talking about in the group chat, they got it in the bag because this team is just so clutch in the last 30 seconds. Like they're going to get shit done no matter if it's Jamal Murray, no matter if it's Jokic or Aaron Gordon. The coach is going to call up a play to get the best shot available and they're going to hit that shit. Jalen Brunson, you know that if he's got the ball in his hands, he's scary. He's gonna make a guy miss. He's gonna be able to get to his spot and get that shot up at the very least. With Shea, you're not necessarily like, oh my goodness, he's gonna make the shot, or you're worried about that. Not like you're worried about him making it. You already know he's gonna make it. It's not like a question, man. He's gonna come down the court. He's gonna get to his midi. He's gonna get to his step back, and he's gonna hit the shot. It's not a question on if it's, I don't know, if you send two at him, he might get frazzled. No, it doesn't matter how many hands are in that dude's face, bro. It's kind of crazy to watch. You know he's gonna hit the shot. If you can tell the difference between like a seasoned NBA fan who's actually watched the games versus a guy who's just watching the first Thunder game of the year. His first Thunder game of the year is based on how they react at the end of the games. Every time I see him with the ball at the end of the games, it's over, bro. There's a reason why they're the number one seed. There's a reason why he's the MVP right now. It's because of how clutch he is this year. But yeah, I think we all agree though. Shea's our one.
Yeah.
Let's go to
Yeah,
coach.
man. I just want to say more thing. I feel like it's also crazy because I feel like this year he might not even have been in as many clutch situations as he could have been because it's just so crazy how he's so dominant in like the first half. So like sometimes he might sit out for like, or the third quarter, like he played a little bit of third quarter and sit out the rest of the game like he was in the first half of the year. But then it's also like in the close games, he's ready for the moment still, even though they might be blowing out teams and they might go 10 games blowing out teams or whatever. And that 11th game, they get in a clutch situation and he's just ready for it. Like, it's so crazy to me, man.
Yeah, and he's definitely like a guy who's like a cold streak stopper. Like when the team is going cold and they haven't scored in the last 3 minutes, he's gonna come in the game and get to his midi. Maybe he'll miss one or two because obviously he's human, but he's gonna stop that cold streak and get the team going again. Which I don't know if that really counts to clutch player, but hey, it's something.
Hey man, I'm looking at it. It says he's plus 93 in the clutch.
Fuck.
That's just overall plus minus, so plus 93, and he shoots 67%. That's true shooting.
Dang you.
So,
That is insane.
nah. He definitely got that award. So
100%. Next we got is Coach of the Year, man. I feel like there's a lot of names that I wanted to list. I really couldn't bring it down to 3. I feel like a lot of these awards I did, but I got to name my honorable mentions unless you guys have any. But my first honorable mention, which I don't think made any of you guys' top 3, is Charles Lee, first-year head coach of the Hornets, man. His ability just to put everybody in the right space and right spot and utilize those screens with guards. You typically don't see how many screens these guards are setting, and being able to pop on those screens is so elite in his offense. I don't know. I just love the overall culture he's built in the Hornets system. He wasn't a guy who came in and tried to change LaMelo Ball's way of playing or try to change B. Mills or anything like that. He allowed them to hoop, and he's allowing LaMelo Ball sometimes to take like fucking 15 to 17 three-pointers a game. He's not getting in their way, and that's the kind of coach you need, especially with a young roster like that. He's a guy who I'm really interested in seeing on how they're going to grow with him. And then my 4, I had Darko Rajakovic of the Raptors. Another guy, I think he's like a second-year head coach, maybe first year, but I'm pretty sure second year.
Second year.
Yeah, second year. Another guy who, even though they lack so much three-point shooting, his play calling on that offensive side is so elite for them that they can get an open shot, a good look each and every time. Like, I've never seen anybody use a center the way he uses Jakob Poeltl when he's healthy. Like, he's just always moving. Jakob Poeltl is always moving. The amount of he plays like 28 minutes a game, but every single minute on offense, he's moving. He's doing something. He's backdoor cutting. He's setting an off-ball screen, something like that to get a guy open in the mid-range or allow him to get into the paint. He just didn't see as much success that you need for Coach of the Year. Mm-hmm. But at y'all 3 spot, who y'all got, man?
Hey, man. That's where I got Mitch. First year coach for the Spurs, man. I mean, he was able to keep them afloat while Wemby was gone. They were still able to be positive, win games. And I don't know. I feel like it's kind of conflicting because we want to see Wemby play all these minutes and, be in a game. When you tune in, you want to, see Wemby. But he's very good. especially I remember specifically that NBA Cup game versus the Thunder, where Wemby was kind of in and out because he was on a minutes restriction from an injury he had. But like when Mitch was like strategically placing him in the lineup for like a few minutes here, taking him out, a few minutes there, putting him back in, and every time he would put Wemby back in, they would go on a run and or they would get a major lead on the Thunder, and eventually that was why they were able to beat them those few games in the beginning of the season. Um, he just has taken on the role of this, especially taking on the role on this like for the Spurs organization after Popovich. I mean, that's big, big shoes to fill. One of the greatest coaches of all time. I mean, he stepped right in and took this young core. He's been able to get Dylan Harper involved well and Carter Bryant involved really well and help them develop over the season. And yeah, I just feel like he's been a great coach. I mean, like I said, first year as a full head coach. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. I also got Mitch Johnson. I was in between Mitch Johnson and is it Mike Brown for the Knicks? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But I don't think that Knicks record changed much. I don't even think it changed any from changing that head coach position. And yeah, like Caden was saying, the way Mitch Johnson was just playing with minute restriction around Wemby, and even when Wemby was out, and you have those lesser bigs, you still got. I mean, they vets, but they still lesser bigs than Wembyama. So, and I mean, Keldon Johnson, he been there his whole career. It's kind of hard to move a guy that's known the situation for so long to the bench and find success. So just the way he handled that whole San Antonio situation coming in first season, number 2 seed, 62 games. Yeah. Sadly, he didn't win it this year. I'm sure he'll get one in his career though.
Valid, 100% valid on those takes. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't put Mitch in my top five. I didn't have Mike Brown in my top five either. Main reason with Mike Brown is just that offense gets too stagnant here and there, and there's so much star power. I feel like you got to be able to figure that out. Yeah, it's harder said than done for sure, but like you stepped into that role, you wanted to coach a big New York team in a big market. You got to be able to make something happen. And I mean, I'm not. He's not a bad coach by any means at all. He's just, in my opinion, not the coach of the year. And then Mitch Johnson, like you guys both said, I don't know. When I look at that Spurs team, I think I could do better. I can't lie. Like, De'Aaron Fox, I don't think should be in the starting lineup. No hate to De'Aaron Fox. Like, he's a great guy. But I don't think he should be in the starting lineup. He's too inconsistent. Yeah, he's probably going to have the most playoff experience coming into the playoffs. So maybe that's why he wants a leader on that team, which I understand. But the amount of times they give De'Aaron Fox that clutch shot, that last second or last minute, they give him the ball in the last minute. I just don't like, because I feel like he doesn't necessarily produce as much as he's given the ball. We've seen multiple times where he just fumbled the rock or just taken a bad three, or not even taking a bad three, but his three-pointer's just not hitting. I think he should be deferring to like a guy like Wembanyama. Let him shoot. I understand he's only a second-year player, but bro, he's 7'6". Let him shoot a post fade. Fuck it. Let's see if it goes in. I feel like that's a better shot than most. But at my number 3 spot, I don't know if this is crazy, I had Ty Lue. I had Ty Lue of the Clippers, man. Completely turning around that team. He's a staple. He's for sure. I mean, yeah, you could say maybe Jeff Van Gundy is a little bit more valuable, the assistant coach who runs the defense. He might be the reason for the success, but I think Ty Lue definitely plays a big part of it. He's allowing his team. He was able to implement Darius Garland after they traded away James Harden, and still was able to see the same success. I feel like he uses Darius Garland better than the Cavs did. Obviously, the Cavs had a lot more star player around him, so Darius Garland couldn't have that ball as much. But I think they use him and Kawhi. They're able to stagger minutes a lot of the times where when Kawhi's not on the court, you got DG being the main guy, getting the buckets, and then sometimes they do play together. But I just like the way that Ty Lue puts his rotations out there. I think that he's always setting this Clippers team up for success. So yeah, Ty Lue's at my 3, man. Ty Lue's at my 3. I used to not be a big Ty Lue guy. I used to think he was carried by LeBron, which he was early in his career. But I'm fucking with him on the Clippers.
Sure.
Who do you got at 2, man? Who do you got at 2? I don't know. I feel like it's a pretty close race in my book, but
Hey man, this might be I don't know. This might be crazy. People might have him at one, but that's where I got JB Bickerstaff, man. That's where I got JB. Um, Pistons head coach. You know, he's been obviously led this team to one seed in the East, especially in the East that was really competitive to be honest. Even though people see the East as weaker, obviously, but you know, a few years ago this team was bottom of the barrel. So, and I feel like over the past month or so that Cade's been out, he's managed his team really well, and they've been able to keep winning games, even though their main engine, a lot of the narrative around the team was that Cade was, obviously the focal point of the offense and who was going to help Cade out when he's not on the floor, when he's getting doubled and he has to pass the rock out. But when Cade's been out with his lung injury, they've been winning games with Dennis Jenkins running the point and leading the team. And that I feel like that should be credited to JB a lot because obviously, told his role players and his guys, you got to step up when your main guy is out. Um, and yeah, I think this is what second year as their coach now, second year.
ever since
So
Monty got fired, yeah.
yeah, I think Lonnie was there 3 years ago and they were like the worst team in the league or whatever. So second year, and yeah, man, he's just been leading his team really well. He'd be my one with the record wise, but my one guy is my favorite coach in the league. But yeah, man, he's on my two.
Me
Hey
too.
man, my Wi-Fi tripping, so I'm gonna say this quick. Number two, I got Joe Mazzulla. Losing your number one guy, so you gotta find a way. Cause I'm assuming that's your not your whole blueprint. Cause obviously you got two superstars, but losing your number one guy, playoffs, that's gonna be rough for the whole fan base within itself. So finding a way to make do with what you got. Jalen Brown come in, do take it over. Shit, get you in the MVP race. Shit, and then I think because they made some moves during the season, which also helped them a lot. I'm sure he had a voice in there. What they asked him what he wanted, and he told them he went. They went and got Vooch. They went and got Luka Garza. He wanted a big that could stretch the floor, that could play behind Kada. So I'm assuming he was the voice in those trades. He got what he wanted, and he got them to the two seed with no Tatum for 3 quarters of the season. So I like how he found that success with them, regardless.
Who do you got at one? Who do you got at the one?
JB Bickerstaff.
Wow. I
But
personally,
this was a 14
yeah,
and what is it? 68, 14 and 68 team 2 years ago
yeah.
to 44 and 38 to their first 60-win season, to their third 60-win season in franchise history, bro. So you lost your star player, you still found a way to go through that. I think they went what like 8-2 while he was down.
Hmm.
So hey, same same kind of spot with Joe Mazzulla. You losing your number one, you got to find a way to win. So
Yeah.
yeah, he turned that whole team around, gave him a new identity.
That's fair, man. I had Missoula at my one, Bickerstaff at my two. Reason I had Missoula at my one was just because the Celtics, prior to the season, a lot of people thought this was going to be a gap year. Like, oh, Tatum's hurt, so we'll be back next year. Maybe Jalen Brown will put up some numbers, whatever. We'll see what happens. But no, this team is the two seed? Or are they the three
Yeah.
seed? Yeah, they're the two
Two
seed
seed.
out in the East right now, which is pretty crazy, bro. I mean, his ability to use all of his pieces on the board is so elite, bro. Like being able to make Jordan Walsh an actual decent NBA player. Hugo Gonzalez, another guy who he's actually been able to implement in the offense. Neemias Queta, he was a nobody. I didn't even know his name prior to the year. Now he's one of the best defensive bigs in the league. So his ability to just not only use the talent he has in front of him, like Derek White or Jalen Brown, but it's also to develop and to integrate other pieces that may have never even gotten a chance in the NBA prior. Being able to integrate it into your offense, such a fast pace, and with so many eyes watching, especially in TD Ameritrade in Boston, it's elite to do. You got to be able to handle the emotions of so many different players. Obviously, all these coaches have to do it, but also be able to play at such a high level and hold them to such a high standard, even though they've maybe not gotten any minutes. Like Baylor Scheinman, when he was put in the game, he was immediately held to such a standard that he luckily, not luckily, but I feel like he pushed himself to reach that standard, and now that's why we see guys like that play at such elite levels. Like Baylor Scheinman at the start of the year was getting 5-10 minutes a game. You'd slowly see his minutes start increasing. You'd see him start slowly playing better. And now he's an actual viable 7th, 8th man off the bench for that Boston Celtics team. Now, what I wish like guys like Mike Brown did, I wish they did that a little bit better. You'd see Tyler Kolek come in here and there, and then you would not see him for another 2 months. Like, I don't see how that's going to instill confidence in those type of players who have never really gotten a shot in the league. At least Mazzulla, he slowly builds up their minutes because he's just testing the waters on how much they can handle. And I appreciate that, and that's why he's my coach of the year.
Yeah, man. He's my coach of the year, too. That's my one guy. Like Steve said, just being able to have your main guy go down, like we said, and keep this team afloat, second seed. I mean, and this is the same year that they lost Drew and Porzingis, right? Just their first year without Drew and Porzingis.
Yep.
So, I mean, you lose 2 key guys. I mean, they started the season off with Anthony Simons, and I mean, in my opinion, he's just really good at being able to try shit. Like he tries some random shit, but like it's calculated. It's not like some dumb random shit like how the Pelicans were just trying random lineups, like 15 different lineups at the beginning of the season. Like, no, he's like calculating these lineups. Like Steve said, he's building up minutes for these role player guys and building up their confidence. And yeah, man, I mean, this team has changed so much. Like I said, they had Anthony Simons, traded him off, picked up Vucevic, and he's been able to build a situation for Jaylen Brown to be able to lead this team after Jason Tatum's been down. They started off the season with Pritchard starting, and he was able to let Pritchard know, I feel like your best position is off the bench, like you were last year, and he moved him back to the bench. But he's doing it in a way that they keep their confidence. I mean, Peyton Pritchard started playing better as he started coming off the bench. He was able to keep that confidence, and yeah, man, I just feel like he's my favorite coach in the league, man, and yeah.
100%, bro. And I feel like the way he's changed his play style, it's not like the Pistons where they basically have the same type of offensive system. Give the ball to K, let him cook, let the shooters shoot, and let us play great defense. Mazzulla obviously is going to bring that great defensive coaching year in and year out, but he's changed from being so three-point centric last year. I believe they were putting up like the most threes in NBA history, that Boston team. Obviously, you don't have a guy like Al Horford or a Drew Holiday anymore, but you still have shooters. So they could have still ran that same system and said, fuck it. Let's see how far we can go. Let's see how many wins we can get. But no, he changed to more of like a slower-paced half-court offense where you're seeing a lot more ISO game for Jaylen Brown and a lot more cutting, backdoor cutting with the role players. I fuck with it, bro. I fuck with how he can coach in multiple different styles. That's why he's my coach of the year. We'll see what's happening. Next one we got is 6th man of the year. This is a sneaky race, bro. Let me start out with my number 3 spot. I don't think anyone's really got him here, but I got Tim Hardaway Jr. His step in shooting, bro, is insane. I remember I peeped it like a month ago. I was like, damn, he's shooting 50% from the 3 ball? Tim Hardaway has never shot. I don't think he's ever shot above like 40% from 3 ball, because when I remember him on the Mavericks, he was like the guy taking the ball out of Luka Doncic's hand. Like, why the fuck are you shooting that shot, Tim? Pass the ball. Like, what are you doing? But he's really stepped into this role. It seems like he's going to look for a bag next year. I don't know how long he's signed. But I like how he stepped into this role. He's a great spark plug for this Nuggets team, because he still has that ISO work that he did have in Dallas. But he's crazy stepped up his efficiency.
Yeah, I was gonna, if nobody did, I was gonna honorable mention Tim Hardaway, because I mean, like you said, every time I tune into a Nuggets game, and they were in a slump, they were in like a drought, he would come in the game and hit a big 3, and then come down and hit another midi, and come down and hit a big. I mean, he's just been shooting lights out this season, and yeah, I feel like first year on the team and being able to come in and hit those shots that, from those passes that Jokic dishes out. I mean, he's just been great. My third guy, and it was so close because I almost had Tim here was Io at Adesuma here. Um, in my opinion, being able to go from the Bulls where his minutes were fluctuating. Like sometimes he was playing and starting, and they were just trying a lot of shit out. So he didn't really know where his role was on that team. And then he gets to go to the Timberwolves and get placed in that 6-man role, and he's been just amazing from that role. He's so valuable for them. I feel like him and Bones Highland are going to be so valuable for their playoff run coming up. But yeah, he just gives you a different pace. Come off the bench, he can hit that midi, or he can drive and get to the lane. He just, in my opinion, been very good and handled being traded off the Bulls onto the Timberwolves midway through the season. He's handled that really well. So that's what I got on my 3.
W.
At my 3, I have. Ooh, I had Reed Shepard on here, so we'll honorable mention Reed Shepard just because that Houston team has no point guard. Second year PG coming in, his year is really up and down as well, so it wasn't consistent. And I think it's hard to talk about the 6-man without throwing in Nas Reed. So
100%.
that's who my third is. I didn't go into too deep a research either for this, so I'm gonna throw Nas Reed in there, just backing up that Rudy Gobert, and he's playing like we flipped their games like a whole 180. They're completely different. So coming in, changing up the play style, changing how the defense is gonna have to react to you coming in compared to Rudy. So his impact is definitely seen. I don't know,
Nah, that boy does
but
get
not.
saucy out there. Pause. He does
Yeah,
get
man, Nas is gonna be in these combos every year, man, for his whole career. As long as he's 6 man, he's just very valuable. So I see that.
100%. I felt bad leaving him off, man. I did, but we'll see. We'll see when he gets actually like a when that Timberwolves team is a little bit healthier and they don't have so many moves like they did this year without Asumu and all
Yeah.
that, and they can actually have a full year with that roster. I feel like this year was like a really wonky year for them. They were trying a lot of things. They were trying to have Jaden McDaniels be a lot more of an offensive bucket, but we saw his defense go down a lot dramatically. Um, so hopefully next year they can actually figure things out and have a good year. At my number 2 spot though, this might be a little crazy because I don't think you guys have him at number 2, man. I had Keldon Johnson here at my number 2, man. Just due to the fact. Actually, I'm gonna let y'all say your number 2s, and then I can argue about who my number 1 is.
Hey, man. Well,
Sorry.
y'all gonna be surprised if my number 1 is there. Nah, I had Hame here, man, at
Wow.
2. Um, yeah, I know y'all probably that's probably y'all number 1 guy is. Yeah, I just got Hame at mine too. I mean, he's averaging like what 15, 5 and 5 off the bench. I mean, yeah, I mean he's just very very valuable for that Heat team coming off the bench and especially in transition offense and even in half court, he's good in both aspects and he plays pretty good defense. I mean, yeah, especially on that Heat team where it's kind of hard to find. I mean, I feel like the Heat are always like, obviously playing fighters in the middle of the pack, and the talent kind of goes up and down. Somebody goes like Bam, and then, obviously the main guy, but then like Norman and Tyler Hero. But I feel like Hame is able to keep the offense up while they're off the court and be everywhere. So that's who I got at my 2.
Yeah, and my 2, I got Keldon Johnson as well.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't as crazy. All right. That's not loud then. Okay. Yeah. That's
But
not
yeah,
crazy.
no, 6-man of the year, like I said, guy, Mitch Johnson coming in and bringing him off the bench. So being able to come off the bench, 6-man, obviously. So I mean, his stats won't jump out at you just because he's coming off the bench. But it is 25 minutes a game. So he's getting that take out there. Decent, not even decent, pretty good defense as a whole. And he's really that leader in that locker room as well. So Ben, I guess you could say he the vet for that squad. He the voice for him. So taking on that voice role, that vet role, I'm gonna take care of my youngins coming off the bench. Hey, ain't much else to say except for being a great vet.
A lot of people say he's the heart and soul of that team for like a a lot of people are arguing the reason why he is the sixth man of the year and he has the lead in the odds is because he's the heart and soul of that Spurs team. Even though he's not necessarily as important as a guy like Jaime Jaquez, who's at my one, he's not as important to that backup team, or doesn't have as much usage, I would say, because you got Dylan Harper getting buckets out there, whole bunch of guys out there. I'm blanking on their names, but he doesn't necessarily need to get a bucket each and every time, but his ability to facilitate on that offensive and defensive side is so valuable for that team. I mean, originally a lot of people, I think he was averaging like 20 points per game, at least maybe the year before Wembanyama came in, and I even want to say the year when Wembanyama came into the league, he was averaging 20 points per game. At a point, people thought Keldon Johnson was actually going to take that step eventually and become the main player, or at least a good number 2 for Wembanyama. But he obviously realized, hey, I'm not the most efficient guy when you give me 40 or 20, 25 shots a game. So I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to do what I can do, and I'm going to help us win because there's obviously younger talent out here that's better than I am. And I appreciate that from a guy. It takes a lot of understanding of the person you are. And that's tough to do for a lot of people. But my number 1, bro, I got Jaime Jaquez. I mean, like Caden was saying, when that bench unit is out there, I feel like that bench unit is sneaky. I don't know if a lot of people even know a lot of their names out there. They're not that good. And if people do call them, I don't know. I don't hear a lot of people talking about the Miami Heat ball anyway. But they're not that good. Khalil Ware is still a very rare and developed prospect. There's times where he goes frozen cold. There's times when Fontecchio can't hit a shot. So when they're looking for a bucket and to keep that high pace offense going, because that is what the Heat do, Jaime Jaquez is perfect for this role. He should damn near be a starter, but the amount of talent they have in that starting 5, it makes sense that he's coming off the bench because, yeah, he's just perfect in that fast-paced role.
Yeah. We have. Yeah, I think probably is Jaime your 1 too. Yeah. Yeah. My 1 is where I got Keldon. I got Keldon at my 1. I feel like, I guess I feel like the way MIP is seen, where like people go from like a low roll to like, averaging 20 plus points per game or whatever, like the Nas are doing and guys like that. I feel like it's very valuable being able to, like Steve said, he was the leading scorer for the Spurs team a few years ago. And being able to swallow your pride and, take a major step back and go to the 6th man off the bench. And it kind of plays like Alex Caruso role where they'll put him on the big and have Wemby Wemby roam around when he's in the game. And I feel like that's also very valuable because he can hold his own versus bigs and some of like top bigs like Jokic is and Embiid's like the top bigs in the game. And yeah, like Steve said, he's the heart and soul of his team. I mean, they've all the first players I voiced out. He's the leader on the defense. And yeah, that's why he pushed the edge over for me to be that one guy in Miami to win the award. So
that's extremely valid, man. I feel like he is the front runner right now. I think I looked at the odds earlier. I think he is the front runner currently. But like, I guess both these guys can do it. Like Jaime Jaquez, he's a 6th man, but he can lead a backup crew, which I love to see. I feel like Keldon Johnson doesn't necessarily lead. Yeah, he's the voice of the team, but he's not necessarily like the main bucket getter of the backups. But Jaime Jaquez is like the main bucket getter of the backups, but also if you put him in that starting lineup with the rest of those other 4 guys, you sub out Andrew Wiggins, you sub out whoever, he can fit in perfectly. He's not slowing down that offense at all. Keldon Johnson in the same way can fit in perfectly, but I feel like you don't see Keldon Johnson with that starting 5 ever, just because his 3-pointer isn't as consistent as you would want it to be, and he's not necessarily beating guys off the dribble as consistent. Now, maybe I'm wrong, because I'm not going to lie. How many minutes of Keldon Johnson have I watched? Probably not as many as I watched Jaime Jaquez. So I could be completely wrong. Maybe Keldon Johnson is knocking that bitch down, but being able to play with the starters and backups is a lot more valuable to me for 6th man of the year. But both ain't wrong. We'll probably see Keldon win it. They love the storyline a little bit more, and he's on the team that's like what, number 2 seed in the West.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to beat that. Most improved though, I feel like we could start at 1, man, because the rest really don't matter too much. I feel like it's a runaway race. I feel like this is more of a runaway race than DPOY, to be honest. Like, it's pretty obvious who's gonna win it. I got Nikhil Alexander Walker.
Mm-hmm.
Really,
I'm
like,
interested, I'm interested in y'all third spot then, though. But yeah, I do got Noah winning it for sure, though.
yeah, I thought he was gonna be like, he turned it up at the start of the season, and I was like, okay, okay, getting buckets, like, sure, like we saw, um, God, I'm blanking on his name, Johnson of the Hawks, Jalen Johnson.
Jalen.
Yeah, we saw Jalen Johnson. We saw a whole bunch of guys on that Atlanta Hawks team take a step when Trae Young was struggling. So we were like, okay, sure, that's calm, whatever. And then he's really taken that step in the last couple months, man. Like, really been getting buckets. Like, we were even talking about it last week that, like, if they want to make a deep playoff run, it's going to be based off if Nikhil Alexander Walker can continue what he's doing. So
Yeah, yeah,
and then
man. I
last
mean,
year, what, he was like a seventh man off the bench.
yeah,
Like,
6, 7 men off the bench, averaging like what 6 or 7 points per game, and then shooting up to 20 plus points per game. I mean, it's insane. We see a lot of guys who go from that 6 man role and try to put on a team where they feel like they can lead or get a bigger role, and they just can't do it. And I mean, he's the first person to jump from below 10 to over 20 since his teammate CJ. I mean, that's 6 man to me. I mean, he literally, you can see the growing up playing with Shea and how he plays. I mean, he has a killer midi. He finishes elite around the rim. I mean, the layups he makes are like kind of retarded sometimes. I'm like, bro, how are you making that, bro? It's like a up and under, like reverse lay over like 2 bigs. I'm like, what are you doing?
yeah.
But yeah, bro, he's tough. Like Steve said, I feel like the other 2 guys. I mean, I kind of just put him on there, but I feel like it was obviously no. And I mean, people might say like his teammate Jalen, but I feel like last year Jalen, we saw a little bit of Jalen. We already knew Jalen was gonna be tough. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like Nas' storyline and his value is more for that MIP role, in my opinion. So that's who I got on my 1, 2.
Yeah, no, better than Nick. No, I mean, I'm doing a little arena report. Says there were 7 different favorites this year, and Nikhil Alexander Walker, he started at plus 20,000.
Damn.
So, especially looking at like expectancy of a player to blow up in the season, no one's really eyeing Alexander Walker to explode to 20 points a game, be like an X factor for that Hawks team. So I think him getting that new role. I keep seeing clips of his podcast with CJ McCollum. He was talking. He was like, "Yeah, I was talking to Shay, and he was like, if this is my last season, I'm gonna make the most of it." So hey, he just worked his way into a new contract or an extension. He definitely finna get paid. So he had a great year, and he deserved it, man.
Yeah,
He's
I feel like people also forget how long he's been in the league too. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think he started on the Pels and was on the Jazz too for a little. Like he's kind of been in the league for a while, and just being able to stay down and keep working and grinding and just wait for your turn and finally get that turn and make the most of it. I mean, hey man, it's been amazing.
no, for real. He's a much more enjoyable watch than Shea is too. I mean, obviously Shea is leaps and bounds better, but like watching Nikhil play ball is just so enjoyable, man. I mean, that whole Hawks team, but like allowing Nikhil to just do whatever he wants here and there and get to the lane. You're talking about how his layups are nasty. They really are, and his step back threes are nasty. Like, just I love his game. You can see like where Shea influenced it and where he didn't, where he's just completely improvising. Man, I love it when guys just build confidence in themselves because that's really the key to like a lot of, just really the key to sports in general is just to have confidence in yourself because you are obviously a professional athlete for a reason. There's a reason you've been in the NBA for the last 4 or 5 years, even though you've been bouncing around to different teams. There's a reason you're there because you actually are able to get a bucket, man, and he's really put it on display. At my number 2 spot, though, I got AJ Rollins. Is it AJ? Yeah, let me see if it's
AJ Rollins or no AJ Cobb.
Ryan,
Wait,
Ryan Rollins.
AJ.
Ryan
Oh
Rollins.
my
Why did I
God,
say my
bro.
bad,
Go
bro?
back to high school.
Oh my god.
I was like, I don't think it's AJ, bro.
Ryan.
I started imagining a dude named AJ. And I was like, that's not it. I got Ryan Rollins here, bro. Haven't been watching too much ball of him because the Bucks, the whole like overall just Bucks organization this year is just not a great one. That he's the one who's been able to to survive, I guess. I was trying to get in my literacy bag right there, but I can't. He's been able to like really flourish in that team, flourish in his role. He might be a guy who falls off in a year or two. I don't know. I hope not. Hopefully, he finds a different team, because if he stays on that Bucks team, I don't know how good he's going to become. He's probably going to cap out at probably around this range. But I'm fucking with Ryan Reynolds. He gets buckets, and he sets his players up for buckets. So I got it. Ryan Reynolds, Ryan Rollins, bro. My fault.
Oh, you're hilarious, bro.
My
Get like
bad.
3 different names, bro.
Bro, chill. I was thinking about Ryan Reynolds. He dropped a recent movie called Hail Mary. I want to go watch it. Tap in.
Hey, man.
Sci-fi.
My 2. That's where I got Jalen Duren. Last year, I mean, he was a good big last year for sure. I feel like he just made a jump this year. Like he went from being like a good big last year to now he was first time All-Star, right? And obviously he benefits a lot from having a great playmaker like Cade on his team and being that pick and roll. I mean, they have like probably the second best pick game next to Jokic and Jamal Murray. But I feel like, especially what put him over like the other guys and put him to the 2 spot for me is this past stretch. Like we talked about earlier, with Cade being out, he's been great for them. I mean, he's been the leader. I mean, obviously Dennis James has been running, the team, but Jalen Duren has been obviously the best guy now. Obviously with Cade being out, and they've been 8-2 with him being the lead guy. And yeah, I mean, he just made a major jump for me and solidified himself as top 5-ish, 6, 7-ish big in the league. So yeah.
You one of them.
Sure.
Yeah.
You one of them who, even if you get drafted in the lottery and make average progression through your career that you should be making, you most improved. Like I mean, I do love his game. Like, yeah, he stepped up. He definitely has a midi bag that he's never had before. He can take it off the dribble. But like, damn
I don't
near
know.
MIP.
Hey man, you was calling him like Baby Shaq on one
That's
point,
not.
man.
Oh yeah, but
I'm just
he's the
saying,
closest
man. Like,
that we've ever seen, bro.
hey man, I just feel like I said, we don't see that big who can just, I mean, go up and dunk like you said since Shaq. I mean, in my opinion, he's upped his volume a lot this year. So,
Yeah, he
man.
did lead a team when Cade was down too. I can't hate too much.
I feel like he's also been just consistently been at that level this whole year. For that, we were obviously high on Ryan Rollins to begin the season, but he kind of did sizzle out a little bit in the middle of the season, but he did pick it back up. But yeah, I just feel like over the whole year he's been consistent, so that's why I got him at my 2.
I also had Jalen Duren at the 2. I mean, increase from 11 points to 20. That's pretty. I won't even like. That's something you have to acknowledge. And he got that team. What was they last year? 8 seed or 7 seed? 6 seed?
Yeah, the 7 or 6.
6 seed.
7 or 6 seed to the 2 seed. I mean, shit. What is this? His second year, right? No.
Might be 3rd.
No, he been here for. He been in.
2022, 3 or 4. I think you drafted, or you could draft 2021 with Cade.
Nah,
Or no,
yeah,
2021 was
2022 to
pick.
2023. So yeah, it's like his 3rd, 4th year, something like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, it's progression, but your team's also progressing as well. Like, you don't just jump up to the 2 seed as a team that was, like we already talked about it, 14-win team. That's it. That's an improvement that includes Jalen Duren. So, nah, yeah, he's up here for sure though. I don't really got much about it though.
I feel that. I'm just the type of guy where like I prefer a guy who's like a no-name, damn near no-name, or hasn't done a lot and got to make that huge jump, like a Nickeil Alexander-Walker did, like a Ryan Rollins did. I had to think about his name for a moment. Like a Ryan Rollins did. Like they made that huge jump, not necessarily a progression. Like this is completely out of their progression. Like how did you do this? This is like a one out of 1,000 players can be able to do this. So at my 3 spot, it follows suit with how I rank these guys. It's Neemias Queta. Again, another guy who like wasn't an NBA player. I don't know where he was beforehand. I don't think anybody really knows unless you've done the research on him. But he's taking that step to be a viable starting big man. Sure, a lot of people had questions on him, like, oh, it looks like Boston's going to have to find a new center next year. That's why they picked up Vucevic to help out a little bit offensively. But it's not like he doesn't do anything correct. He's a great, viable defensive player. You can throw him lobs. He's going to hold it down in the paint, like I said, defensive player. He's taking that big step. And I like seeing that out of my most improved player rather than just like a progression. Like this is not in Neemias Queta's progression. Neemias Queta's progression was probably being like a G League MVP. You know what I mean? Like he's taking that humongous step. I almost put Denise Jenkins above him, but I really don't know the whole rules on that because I know like sixth man of the year you don't have to play 65 games to qualify, which is nasty work. I don't understand how that works. I heard that on a pod. I don't know if Most Improved is like that as well. But I would damn near put Denise Jenkins. I would definitely put Denise Jenkins over Duran. But I mean, I respect it if you're going the more progression route. But yeah, I got Kate at my 3.
All right, I got my 3. I got that's where I got Denny. Even though I hate how Denny plays. I can't lie. But yeah. I do fuck with the way you do the award though. In terms of like, you know, a guy who was a no name and then making a crazy jump. I guess maybe mine is just more off of like how the awards been given out. I feel like for a lot of awards for the NBA though, I feel like the way they give out the awards could be tweaked a little bit and should be more, you know, direct for the name of the award. Like Most Improved definitely makes more sense for a guy who actually was literally most improved, you know, from being nothing to being something. But in terms of like the odds and guys who made jumps from being, you know, okay-ish, like Denny, to, you know, he's been the leading scorer for the team and kind of a stat stuffer. And yeah, I would just put him up here, even though I kind of just threw him in there just because, but yeah. That's my 3 guy, Denny.
Yeah, no, I had Queta at my 3 as well. Is it Neemias? Neemias Queta?
Neemias, that's what I say. You got him?
Shit, that's
That's fair, bro.
I can try to break it down. I ain't got no notes or nothing, but I mean, yeah, no, being from like, yeah, like you said, they thought they were gonna need a new center. They did go get new centers. It's like they went and got new centers though, and he still managed to keep that starting spot, keep that number 1 center spot, and yeah, like you said, last year I didn't know who he was. So coming in this year, top 5 defensive center shit. I wouldn't say top 3, top 5 defensive center. So yeah, no, I mean, hey, and like we said, no Jason Tatum. They had to have a backup plan, and it was Jaylen Brown. But he needs running mates. You know them guards gonna do what they gonna do. They're gonna dribble and shoot and dime. But who they gonna throw it to in the paint? Who gonna get the boards? Who gonna stop the defense in the paint? And all those questions were answered from Queta. Who gonna catch the lobs? We got Queta catching them. Who gonna block the shots? Queta blocking them. It's like, yeah. Coming from, I don't even know, was he on a roster last year?
Something in me wants to say he was on the Rockets, but I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he came out of nowhere, and all right, shit, Porzingis not gonna play. Somebody gotta play. So, coming in, just taking the opportunity that you get and making the most of it, capitalizing it. Queta is like, that's the behind all. That's the embodiment of most improved. Is taking the opportunity you get. So,
yeah,
Queta's up here.
He was on Boston last year. He was originally drafted to Sacramento in 2021. Spent 2 years there, and then the last 3 years he's been on Boston. Easily the most minutes played in his career. But yeah, I like how you said it, man. He's not like a J Huff either. It's not like, you know, he's getting forced to this position, force-fed minutes, and he's producing obviously like block numbers because he's a big guy, and but no, he's actually taken a step out of it, and he's actually being able to be a viable point in the offense. You know, he can't shoot that well, but he knows how to continuously move. He's an athletic enough center where he's almost like a Mitchell Robinson, in that way, where he can continuously move off ball and set screens. So he's not um, just sagged off the whole game. But the most interesting conversation we're gonna probably have is rookie of the year, man. I don't need to name the three. I mean, we don't need to go through it. It's Edgecombe. I feel like that's pretty obvious. He's had a great rookie year. I mean, maybe you can put Dylan Harper here for sure, but I think Edgecombe has just shown us a lot more, especially with the hot start he had this year. And he kind of cooled off when Joel Embiid and Paul George came back completely. But he's still like one of the more clutch players in the league. He's not necessarily a knockdown 3-point shooter, but when that clutch time comes around, he's gonna knock that bitch down. He's one of the more explosive guys in the league. You can definitely make an argument for Dylan Harper being at 3, and I wouldn't hate it, but I think the biggest conversation is 1 and 2.
Yeah, VJ definitely had 3. Dylan's my favorite rookie, but yeah, if he didn't miss that time and near the beginning of the season where he was out for like a month or so, maybe it would have been more of a tight for 3, but I think VJ for sure. I mean, he's, like you said, one of the most athletic guys in the league already. I mean, the height he gets up for those old boards is literally insane. I mean, he jumps so high and grabs them. But yeah, I mean, we probably all have the same 1 and 2. I mean, we all got at 2, man.
Kind of talked about this last pod, but at my 1, man, give me Con Knuppel. Give me the better Duke Blue Devil. Give me the ACC tournament MVP. He's the leader in 3-point makes this year in the NBA, shooting at like 42% from the 3 ball. That alone seals it for me. Yeah, Coop has probably played 10 less games than him, but still is averaging more points, more rebounds, more assists, all that. That's cool and all, but again, I'm gonna make the point where Khan's gravity as a rookie is giving him the edge for that award. His gravity, making people step out to him, is so elite. Obviously, he's not gonna get downhill like a Coop. He's not gonna be able to handle as many shots as a Coop does, but he's still gonna force people to double team him or to look for him when he's setting that screen and popping. The defense has to find where Con Knuppel is at all times, or else he's gonna knock that bitch down. So for that reason, he's my rookie of the year. He's so valuable for his team, more valuable in my opinion than Cooper Flagg. It's a little hard to compare because Cooper Flagg plays on a worse team, but yeah, more valuable than Coop. So I got Con in my rookie of the year.
That's fair. Me and Lank probably got the same dude at 1. I got Coop up here. His scoring, to me, in my opinion, his scoring highs are just so crazy. And in my opinion, I value doing it on a worse team more. Just because I feel like Khan might benefit more from being a 3rd or maybe even some games 4th option with Miles Bridges. He might have obviously he has gravity as a 3-point shooter, knockdown guy, but he also has Brandon Miller, who's been a knockdown guy this year, and LaMelo Ball, who's number 2 in 3-pointers right behind him. So I feel like Coop having to do it on a team where Kyrie was hurt. He had AD for the beginning of the season, kinda, but AD was in and out of the lineup, and then he got traded. So he was kind of doing it all on his own. And yeah, being able to have that high of a scoring output while being the number 1 option, and also being, like Steve said, he's top 5 in assists, blocks, rebounds. I mean, steals. He's literally everywhere for the rookies. I mean, it's just hard for me to do that on a worse team. I feel like if you switch Cooper and Khan, obviously they have different play styles, so it's kind of hard, but I don't feel like Khan's numbers might be as good because he goes from being a 3rd, 4th option to being the main guy, and he might have to create more off the dribble, and he can still get downhill for sure. Khan is not just a spot-up guy. He can get downhill and she even shoot a midi too. I mean, he's definitely can do that. But yeah, I feel like if you switched him, Coop's numbers would still look better, and he might even look more. He might not look as polished because Jason Kidd threw him in as a point guard to start the season off, and it really helped his development. But it might look different, obviously, if it's on the Hornets and he didn't have to do that, go through that. But yeah, I just got Coop on my. I mean, the progression from last year, like watching the March Madness tournament last year to how he is now, is literally insane to me. Like he's a great playmaker now. The passes he makes are insane, and yeah, man, that's just why I got him out.
Yeah, man. I love that this race is in between two Duke Blue Devils. It's kind of just peak for me seeing this. So but yeah, that being said, I do have no, I have Cooper Flag as my rookie of the year, but this might be the closest race that we've seen since they did like a co-rookie of the year. Like, because Jason Kidd was a co-rookie of the year with like, I think I heard like Grant Hill or something. So if there was ever like two rookie of the years, it would be this year. But if I had to pick one, I would go with Cooper Flag just because we talk about gravity, but Cooper's bringing the ball up the court. He's leading that offense. He's leading the team. First year, you got vets that's getting traded, injured, regressing, and yeah, we need a new light. Cooper Flag, shit, 20 points a game. Shit, he'll give you your 6 and 5, your 7 and 5. So his production's not a question. You knew what you was getting coming in, but you didn't know you would get it to this level. Like, I'm sure they was expecting him to come in, all right, you can do like 15, 3 and 4, but you coming in 27 and 6. So, like we've been hearing in the media, like we've been seeing in the games, only teenager 50-point game, 40-point game, multiple. Yeah, I mean, his highs are, I think his highs are higher than Khan's highs, and his lows are lower than Khan's lows. He's missed 12 games on the year, so it's not like he was playing every game. But with that being said, you're still leading the rookies in points per game. You still top five in rebounds per game, top five in assists per game at the three. I mean, it's you can argue it impact, but one's team is better than the other, so you can't. I mean, I don't know, man. I just think what we've seen from Cooper Flag this year is I don't want to throw it around, but it might be another case of the generationals. Like we
Hmm.
haven't seen a rookie year like this since I've been hearing since Jordan.
Yeah.
So you can look at the numbers and make the pick, but if you also watch the games, I think you can still make the pick being Cooper Flag. So that's where I'm gonna go.
That's fair enough, man. I can't argue with a guy who's dropped what 90 points in 2 games, bro. A rookie that has dropped 90 points in 2 games. That's insane to me. That's definitely the first time I've ever seen it, and probably the last time I'm gonna see it for a long time, unless like AJ DeBonsa does it. But I don't know. Again, Khan just being so valuable to that team. Even when LaMelo wasn't on the court in the start of the year, that Hornets team was still winning games. I don't even think B Mills was out there yet, and they were still putting up good wins because Khan's ability to just come off the ball and make a shot, or come off a screen and make a shot, is so elite, bro. And shooting at that 40% rank, I obviously everybody knows Coop's ceiling is way higher for sure. But if we're talking this year alone, think we got to respect the guy who's shooting 42% from the three ball, man. The second best shooter in the league right now.
I would
But
say that is also crazy. Coming from a rookie, you lead in the league in threes,
yeah.
second in three precision. It's not often you're gonna see that. So I can see how people are taking Khan and seeing what he's doing for and with the Hornets. I mean, hey, that's a team I wouldn't have expected him to play in this year. If I would have if I would have known his impact coming in, I would have been like, oh, I can see them being top of the play in. But Yeah, no. What he's doing is also just it might be a step under generational.
Yeah, no, I don't hate it, bro. I mean, if this is like, if we got rid of all of like the first half of the year, like going to December, January ish, Cooper Flag's my rookie of the year for sure. But if it's like a in totality race, I think Khan has just been again more consistent this whole year. Even though yeah, he's had his lows on 3-point shooting, but I feel like the Hornets team as a whole has had their lows in 3-point shooting. I feel like that just comes with the team that puts up as many threes as they do. But you could see from the percentage, the 3-point percentage wise, in totality, he's had a more efficient and more consistent year. But
Yeah, yeah, and I for sure get that. Especially because it's kind of hard because they are two different like situations too. It's like I mean, I guess you could give Cooper a little less some slack because he's number one pick, so it's kind of like you know that's an expectation almost. Come in and go crazy, but Khan was like what pick sixth or seventh, something like that. He's pick four. So his expectations weren't as high. Like when him and McNeely got drafted, I was like, man, they probably gonna be like some off the bench guys. They'll come off the bench and make some threes. They'll be key, but not too crazy. But Khan came in and like Steve said, when Lamelo and B Mill were out, he was keeping them in there and making the threes at an insane clip. I mean, he literally his efficiency is like scary. Like when I was looking at some of the box scores, like I didn't get to catch a game, and I'd be like, wow, he went like 6 for 9 from three, and then he went from like 9 for 10 from three on some crazy, just shooting crazy numbers. Um, but yeah, I do feel like Cooper being put at that point guard position at the beginning of the season definitely hurt his efficiency too. Even though in totality, I feel like it's made him a way more polished player than Khan is, just because of the different situations, like I said. But yeah, I just feel like Cooper being a more polished player overall, in my opinion, is just what puts him over that. But like Lang said, if I could give a co MVP, a co Rookie of the Year, it would be this year, man, because Khan is literally right there. I mean, if Cooper had came back and like didn't drop like the 40-point games or the 50 that he had, and maybe like sizzled out
mm-hmm.
after being hurt, Khan would have won it. I mean, it was honestly probably those games that put him over the edge in terms of who's probably gonna win the award. So yeah, super close race.
Yeah, do you know who the last co-rookie of the year was? It wasn't Grant Hill.
What year?
2000, 1999 to 2000. This is a tough one, honestly. Like, the only reason I know one of them is because is a trivia question I had earlier.
I don't even know came in 99 2000.
Clippers or no, I guess he was on the Bulls at that point. Well, now you know he played for the Clippers and the Bulls. Started off with the Bulls, and then the other dude played for, I want to say the Rockets. I don't even see his name. They're not telling me the team.
Who is it?
Power forward for the Bulls, and God,
Is this Yao and somebody else or like no?
no. I think that's,
1999.
and then this dude's a point guard, shooting guard for the Rockets. Yeah, in the early 2000s.
Early 2000s.
We share a first name, me and this dude.
Oh, so the Rockets guard is Steve Francis. That's what when I said point guard, shooting guard. That's what I knew was Steve Francis. I don't know who won it alongside him. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's Elton Brand, bro. Not a lot of people. I didn't remember
Brand.
the name. I didn't know the name, so I had to look it
Creighton grad. Creighton grad. Elton Brand. I don't know if he's a grad, but coming out the draft, he was from Creighton.
Yeah, it was 20 points per game. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, which is crazy. Steve Francis averaged 18, 6, and 5. Was an All-Star his first year, and it seemed like Elton Brand averaged 20 and 10. It's pretty far. Damn. And then they fell off, I guess, both of them. But hopefully we
I
don't
lied.
see that.
I got my blue and white mixed up. Elton Brand was a Blue Devil.
Oh my God.
Nah, man, I feel like this year is more deserving than that race. Shit.
Yeah.
Especially since I feel like these guys are going to be in the league for a while to come. Years. I feel like these two guys are going to be top of the league for years. So,
Well, next we gotta go into. We can make this quick. We gotta go into the playing games. They're gonna happen Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the first round games are gonna happen Saturday. I don't believe there's any other games that are happening after or before the pod because it's not showing up on Reel. So it doesn't seem like there is. So Tuesday, let's just give out our picks if it's so crazy, and then we can make it a little conversation. But first game is gonna be Heats versus Hornets. Sorry. It seems like everybody's playing. A couple guys that are questionable on the Heat: Taylor Larson, Fontecchio, Drew Smith. Charlotte, on the other hand, is fully healthy besides PJ Hall. Doesn't really matter. Who do we got here, man? One game, 9 versus 10. Whoever loses is out.
as I say, man, it's win it on home. I mean, the streak the Hornets been on, I got to give it to them. I mean, the Heat are like playing demons, though. I feel like the Heat always like win the play in and get in on some shit always randomly, bro. But nah, yeah, give me the Hornets, man. I feel like they'll get in.
Yeah. Especially with Kobe White on the roster now, I feel like that's going to be the big
Yeah.
difference maker once Davion is off the court. Because Davion's going to have to guard LaMelo or V-Mill, whatever. He's going to have to get a body on him. And he's going to probably guard him up pretty well. But then there's going to be an eventual time where he's going to have to sub out, and boom, here comes Kobe White, and there's another spark to the offense. And should be Coke butter cheese at that point. I don't think this game's. I think it's gonna be a high scoring game. I think it's gonna be like 135, 125. But give me the Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah, I want Charlotte to win that. I think, yeah. I don't know if Eric Spoelstra really has like the second unit that he's wanted this year. So I definitely take the Hornets in this game.
I like that. I like that. Next one we got is Blazers Suns. The Suns are the 7th seed, so they're gonna be playing at home. Not a winner go home, but pretty big game for the Western Conference. Whoever wins this game goes and plays the Spurs. Phoenix, on the other hand, injury report real quick. Colin Gillespie is questionable right now with a shoulder injury. Grayson Allen questionable with a hamstring. Jordan Goodwin questionable with an ankle. Jalen Green questionable with a knee. But other than that, everybody's healthy on Phoenix. Portland, everybody's healthy besides Jermaine Grant, who's questionable with a calf. I don't know how confident you are in him playing because I don't believe he's played it a while. I don't think, yeah, he hasn't played since. No, he played on March 27th and March 25th, but he hasn't played like a consecutive amount of games since mid-March. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm taking the Suns here. I assume Jalen Green's gonna play probably. Probably be cool by tomorrow. He'll probably play through it anyway because it's like I said, the winner go home. So if they trying to make something shake or make a Cinderella run, he got to play. So yeah, give me the Suns. I just feel like Trailblazers are just, I don't know, offensively they're just, and they got Denny, but like they're just not that consistent. So I'd rather take the Suns. They got a little Dylan Brooks is back now, so I think they'll be pretty good.
Yeah, I just checked the Blazers' last few games, and they don't really like to put the ball in the basket against decent teams. I think they had like a couple 130 point games, but then was against like the Nets, some losses to the Raptors, I think. And I just think with this Suns team, they might get overwhelmed with the firepower of Dylan Brooks and Devin Booker. And then especially if Jalen Green play and like say Grayson Allen plays, that's just two other scores that you'll have to worry about on the offensive end. And they got some pretty good defense over in Portland, but they're gonna need a lot of it to make it happen tonight. Or not even tonight, but was tomorrow night?
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, no, they I'll take the Suns for that.
Damn. That's valid because that's completely against what I'm thinking, man. I got Portland, and my X factor in this game is Shaedon Sharpe. He hasn't played in a while. I think he's played his last like 2-3 games, but he was out for a while. So if he can come back and at least give them a calm 15 to 18 a game, I believe in Drew Holiday's like ability to take that step. Because when they need those buckets, he's been able to get buckets, especially with Denny Advia next to him, so he doesn't have to take the full usage or full load that he would typically have to take when Denny Advia was out off the court. I think they're going to be a dangerous duo, and I just don't think the Suns. I don't have trust in the Suns winning those like higher seeded, like actual competitive games. Like they're the type of team that takes care of business when they're facing like shitty teams like the Jazz or whatever. But when they actually have to face some sort of competition, it's hit or miss with them. And I know it's a one game. It's not like a 7-game series. So yeah, you're gonna ask Shaedon Sharpe to have one good game. Still, give me the Portland Trailblazers. So I'm not as high as the Suns. I'm not as high on the Suns as I was like a month or two ago. If this was a month or two ago, give me the Suns easily. But I feel like they're kind of coasting or they're cooling off right now. Colin Gillespie isn't hitting as high of a rate as he once was. Yeah. But I can see it going anyway. Next we got on Wednesday, Warriors 10 seed versus the Clippers 9 seed. Jimmy Butler obviously not playing. Most Moody not playing. Everybody else on the Warriors is healthy besides LJ Cryer. Doesn't really matter. Right now, Kawhi is questionable with an ankle, but he'll definitely suit up. I would really be surprised if he doesn't. Isaiah Jackson's out, and that's about it. Bradley Beal's still out. I think he's out for the season, though. I think this is pretty cutting. I don't know if it's cut and clear, man. What do y'all think?
Well, obviously, the Warriors got Curry back now, so
Best player in the series.
yeah, man, it's really hard to count Curry out, but I just don't see him. I don't see him being able to do it with this team, man. I mean, it's just depleted. I mean, if they had Jimmy Butler, it should be way more competitive. But yeah, I mean, they don't got Jimmy. I don't really know who's gonna guard Kawhi. I mean,
Draymond.
you may want to put Draymond on, yeah, but then it's like,
Guy Santos. That's about it.
yeah, I don't know. So yeah, you got Draymond, you got to worry about him. So then you got other guys who can get off. But yeah, I think the Clippers will win. It'll probably be close, down to the wire ish, just because it's Steph Curry, man. So I don't think they're gonna get blown out or anything. But
You got Porzingis.
Porzingis is just Porzingis. I mean, like I was gonna say Porzingis. I haven't liked what I've seen with Porzingis on the Warriors, even though it hasn't been too many games. I mean, obviously at this point in Porzingis' career, he doesn't really play too much. Anyway, he's kind of in and out of all his lineups on every team he's in. But yeah, I mean, you could have an X Factor game for Porzingis, and I could be wrong, but I'll take the Clippers.
I also got the Clippers, man. If they lose this game, it's going to be a lot of question marks on this team. Sure, they're going to get a lottery pick, and that is valuable this year for sure, but they got to win this, in my opinion. They got it. Who you got, Lane?
Yeah, no, give me the Clippers. I just looking at this Warriors team, I don't think Curry within himself is going to be enough. And I mean, this Clippers team, looking at it, Darius Garland active, Benedict Mathurin active, and Kawhi Leonard. I'm sure he'll play because it's a winner go home game. But just Darius Garland and Benedict Mathurin, that's 35 points right there. So, Pods might need another 30-point game to get this done if they really want to win. But, yeah, no, too much injuries on the Warrior side, not enough. Yeah, no. Yeah, that Jimmy injury really hurt them a lot. So, unfortunately, I think they're going home.
Valid. Hopefully they can get something in this year's draft or something like that. But next one we got also on Wednesday, Orlando Magic versus the 76ers. 76ers are going to have home court advantage because Orlando lost their last game. Orlando is looking pretty healthy. I mean, Jet Howard's questionable. Jonathan Isaac hasn't played for a while, but he's questionable. Only guy missing on Philly is Joel Embiid. That's a big hit for them. But in my opinion, give me the Sixers. I mean, Magic are just so up and down. I don't know how much I can bet on them. I mean, it's going to be based off Anthony Black. if he can actually get at least some buckets going. Because if he can, that's gonna overwhelm the fuck out of Philly. Like Tyrese Maxey can only do so much. Quentin Grimes can only do so much. Paul George, playoff P. I don't know if he's gonna shake that narrative this year or not. Um, but if I had to bet on it, give me the 76ers just due to the fact that that Orlando Magic team is so up and down at this time of the year. They do play good D though.
Yeah. If the Sixers had Embiid, I would take them in a heartbeat. I feel like no Embiid makes this game a lot closer. But I feel like I'm gonna take the Magic. I feel like they'll have an up game. You know, I feel like like you said, they've been up and down all year. The coaching is bad, but I feel like they can pull out this win. I don't see them going far, obviously, in the playoffs, but I feel like they can pull out this win with no Embiid. I feel like playoff P. He's been playing pretty good recently, but I feel like he might show his playoff penis, right? Whoa.
Yo, gang. Yo.
Oh, no way.
Whoa, that might
Whoa, pause. Pause.
I can go, bro, if you want me to.
he might show his play.
Nah, but yeah, I feel like he might pull out, bro. So, so yeah, bro, it'll be on Maxi and VJ. I just don't see it. Give me a Magic.
Yeah, man. So, I'll break it down for y'all. The 76ers, they are down in B. I don't know.
That's a breakdown.
Like y'all said, I don't think I can fully trust Paul George. And this is also an Orlando team with a very defensive-minded point guard in Jalen Suggs. So if he's IDing Tyrese Maxey the whole game, he can kind of slow him down, get him away from that 30-point average, 25, whatever it is. He'll get him away from that. And I don't know if I kind of see a lack of depth looking at Philly. And just in this game right here, I guess. But expect the X Factor to be like Desmond Bane in this game. I could definitely get that. He didn't play a lot last game, and they're definitely looking to try to win this game. So they're gonna go to what's been working. Like we said, Iron Man. Shit. So I think they just need Paolo to play his part and Desmond Bane to keep shooting. Like I need him to shoot the ball. And then you got Franz as well. Shit. Hey, I think the stars is aligning for the Magic to win this playing game.
Valid. I don't hate it, bro. I don't hate it. And then if we go Heat or Magic or Heat or 76ers, if the Heat play the Sixers, I don't know. I think whoever loses this game is probably going to lose to the Miami Heat. That's just my personal thing. I mean, they're so close in rankings, so you can't really say, like, oh, they're the 10th seed, so they're going to be worse. Not really. I think the Miami Heat are going to have a faster pace offense than the Magic, and that defense is just not going to be able to keep up, and they have so many options. That depth that you were talking about, they actually do have that depth, the Miami Heat.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, obviously they don't have the best second unit, but they do have something to work with. So I would have them over, and I would have them being my 8th seed in the playoffs. What about y'all thinking? You think the Miami Heat can take down either Magic or Philadelphia?
I'll probably have the Magic making it out. In my opinion, I think they can play it out over the Heat. I just feel like, yeah, obviously the Heat have they play with high pace and they have a great transition offense. I mean.
Oh wait, that's not how it would work. My fault. It would be Hornets would play either the Magic or 76ers.
I was about to say, yeah, if the Heat lose, they'll be done.
Yeah. Okay,
And then and then
Oh, they're saying the Hornets will play that.
Loser to 7-8, winner to 9-10.
Oh yeah.
So the Hornets would make it in then, I think, pretty easily.
Yeah. I would think the Hornets would beat the Magic or the 76ers. Yeah, I think they would beat. either team. I feel like the Magic defensively they could maybe slow them down the 3 points a little bit, but I feel like I like the Diabate over Wendell. I like that matchup down there. So I think they can get it done.
Valid. Next one, last play-in game. It would be the Clippers playing
The loser.
Suns or Blazers, and I think we both said, well, y'all were saying the Suns. I was saying the Blazers. I think the Clippers would definitely beat both these teams. No lie, that's
Yeah.
kind of wild.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, but yeah, I feel like the Clippers would beat either team. Whoever wins that game. So
All right.
whoever
Well,
loses that game, all right.
I'm not gonna lie. We've had a 2-hour pod. I think we wrapped up the play-in, the games that are actually gonna matter. We're gonna have some games on Saturday in playoffs: Knicks, Hawks, Raptors, Cavs, Rockets, Lakers, and then Wolves, Nuggets are gonna be on Saturday. But we can catch those on Monday, recap them, talk about what we've seen, and what we think who's gonna win that series based off those first couple games. But other than that, man, I feel like we've had a lot to talk about. We made a 2-hour pod, which is probably one of our first 2-hour pods in a while. But I think we got a lot done here. We'll see how these MVP or these awards come out. I don't know exactly when they come out. I think they come out like a week.
Yeah, they come out like first week in the playoffs. Yeah, as those first games are first few games are getting done. So.
Yeah. But other than that, man, I think we're done. We're through. We'll see y'all next Monday, man. Hopefully the playoffs went on how we made it. But yeah, hopefully no big injuries happen. Praying for Luka Doncic. Heard he's coming back from Europe to get reevaluated. So hopefully he can make a comeback this first round. Maybe not the first game, but we'll see. Anyway, that's been Off the Rim, man. The real Off the Rim podcast.
Oh God, fuck the frauds.
I don't know who
We
Joe
take
Henry
care.
is, bro. Fuck Joe. No, I'm playing.
But this has
Yeah,
been
bro.
Off the Rim, bro. We'll see y'all next Monday. Peace out, y'all.